The U.S. State Department issues a security alert urging Americans to leave Iran immediately. Uh-oh. Trump announces a 25% tariff on any country doing business with Iran. This order is final and conclusive. Do you think Iran takes your threat seriously?
I think Iran takes your threats seriously.
I think so. Don't you think so, CNN? Don't you think so? Wouldn't you say that they probably do at this point?
Yeah, I would say
going
so.
through it for years with me, being hit, Soleimani, al-Baghdadi, the Iran nuclear threat wiped out. Don't you think, and then you just had Venezuela, don't you think, she says, CNN, do you think they take your threat seriously? Wouldn't you say they do after all of the things we've done? What a stupid question.
I mean, he's right. Yeah, I bet they're taking it pretty fucking seriously, especially after he bombed the fuck out of him the other time. So yeah, 100% that's probably what's happening. I mean, I feel like I would be if I was them. I'd be fucking terrified about it. Oh my God. What a stupid question. More about the executions. Let me see if I can find this. Oh yeah. So basically the Iranians, so a lot of people now are asking for... They're asking for President Trump to step in now. The Islamic regime of Iran has decided to start beginning mass executions of arrested protesters. The regime has officially admitted to arresting more than 10,000 protesters. Oh my God. Though the real number may be 3 or 4 times higher. Iranian security forces begin shooting protesters with live ammunition.
Martha, tonight I was able to connect with yet another civilian on the ground in Iran, in the city of Isfahan, a city that sits to the south of Tehran. It has a population of about 2 million people. This source telling Fox News that clashes are unfolding in the streets tonight. He says security forces are using live ammunition on demonstrators. He described it as a battle. Martha?
Treyings, thank you.
God damn.
Much.
Martha, tonight I was able to connect with yet another...
Holy shit, so they're actually shooting the protesters now. They're planning executions for them and everything. So Iran's internet blackout has now lasted for over 100 hours. Oh my fucking God. Iran warns of devastating military surprises. A devastating military surprise. Oh, really? Oh, wow. Okay, that's so bad. And so, let me see if I can pull up the other posts about this, because things are... How do you think this will affect the midterms? It depends on how the outcome is. It really does. The outcome will determine how people approach it. Iran will start public executions of anti-regime protesters this Wednesday. I think if they do that, it's over. Because at that point, like, everybody in the world is going to see that because it's going to get recorded or something like that. And then everybody is going to be like, bomb them. Get rid of them. That's it. It's over. This is the end. So I think nothing to lose. Yes, exactly. And look at these biased, stupid headlines. What is this? What's this? Mr. Pahlavi has not ruled out taking the peacock throne like his father, but insists his mission is to shepherd Iran towards a secular democracy after decades of misrule. Is this a problem? I thought this was accurate. Is it because they're not using, they're not like addressing him as like the prince or what? Read the image. Prince of Iran conjures a revolution from his wealthy U.S. suburb. Man. Isn't it insane that we live in a world where the actual publication media, is defending and running defense for a totalitarian, murderous Islamic regime in Iran? Isn't that insane? How is that happening? Oh my God. Here's another? Wait, what? Bloomberg warns that if Iran's uprising topples the Islamic Republic, it could shake global geopolitics and energy markets and trigger widespread chaos. Man, they're trying to make people afraid. So, dude, this is crazy. There's nothing wrong with that. It's... I don't think there's anything really wrong with it either, but I think that whenever all of the innocuous mistakes happen to happen from like one side of people every single time. Like, when are you starting your own news station with us viewers as the reporters? We already have. Like, a lot of the news that we get from Iran are from actual Iranians that it's being filtered through my moderators and they're sending to me. So it's already happening. Like, you're asking, like, oh, when's this going to happen? It's been happening. It's been going on. It's the same thing whenever we covered the stuff that happened in Serbia, because we knew people that were in Serbia. There was a guy that was for that big, huge Serbian protest. One of the guys that was in that protest was one of our moderators. So, no, I mean, like, we've been doing this for a while. And this is why these big publications hate people like me. They do. And it's also, like, it's not anything unique. Virtual embassy. Oh, here we go, too. I hate to show this, but these are all body bags. I think people need to see this. If I've got to take a vacation for it, then I do. The fact is that there are tons of dead bodies out there. They have them lined up. Footage shows grieving families around wailing, desperately searching through rows of dead bodies. These are all people that have been killed by the Iranian regime, and they have been killed systematically. You promised help. Iranians are running out of time. This is what's happening over there right now. You see that? There it is. At this very moment. They're killing them, lining them up, and they're going to publicly execute more of them. This is insane. Absolutely sick. It's the regime? Yes, it's horrible. They're demanding money to deliver the bodies to families. Up to 20,000 United States dollars. So you need... you need to be a billionaire. It's only $227 billion to get your body back. Oh my God. So, oh, is that trillion? Oh, I must have messed up. Well, either way, yeah, that's where we're at. And so you've had all this happening, right? You look at this. This is terrible. And I don't like to show this. I mean, I don't think I'm going to get in trouble because there's no actual, like, it's not the bodies. It's just a bag, right? But this is what they're doing. They literally are killing people and lining them up off the side of the street. And I want you guys to see this because this is what a real oppressive fascist government looks like. This is what an actual dictatorship looks like. This is what real oppression looks like. It's body bags and people being laid out on the side of the street. Meanwhile, the government is like fucking ransoming the bodies to the families to try to get more money so they can continue their failing war machine. This is the real reality here. It's sad how all the wokies are silent. They are. They're completely fucking silent about it. Are you seeing this? Protesters in Iran burning Iranian flags on the streets? Yeah, this is nuts. I feel like one of these days I'm going to wake up and we're going to see that it's fallen. It's going to happen. And I usually wake up early. And if that day comes, I will be on early. I will. Look at this here. And now you see why they're covering their faces. Tomorrow, bud? I hope so. Yeah, today I'm like, yeah, please take the day off. You think that's what I gotta do? Have patience, Baldy, by the time I get it? I hope tonight. Yeah, and mods, you guys can keep sending me new links, and I'll look at everything. Yeah, look at this. They're burning the flags, everything. They're tired of that cake mixer bullshit flag, man. They're tired of it. And I think it's about fucking time. So we've got another one here, and we saw this the other day, so we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on it, but an IRGC shoulder opened fire on people gathered for a funeral. A 16-year-old was shot and killed. Look at this. A random soldier just shooting for no reason. Oh my God. I think once the normal army turns out, that'll be it. I hope so. And Asmon, everyone knows this. Leftists are saying nothing about this. 5,000 dead, only 3 major cities. Cities where people don't have guns. Wow. It's almost like you need a Second Amendment. Yeah, if Trump acts, it must be decisive and swift. Yeah, Iranian is going to give me an offer to not talk about it like Israel did. Well, I'll tell you this, that, I mean, like, I've had different state governments reach out to me indirectly, or people that are involved in the state government. And even inside of America, they've reached out to me. The reason I haven't really pursued a lot of it, the reason why is just because names, nothing exciting. It wasn't Israel, okay? It was not Israel, so we can just give that up. So overall, like, yeah, not. I mean, if more than $7,000, they're killing kids. Holy fuck! And let me see if I can pull this up too. Oh, here we go. 17-year-old Aradi Hirota was shot dead by Islamic regime while protesting in Iran. Well, there we go. And these are actual people, real protesters, not rioters, not violent, extremist people that are mad that the election didn't go their way. Literal kids. Oh my God. Yeah, that was an Israel case. We can give that up. Yes. Well, I mean, I knew that's what everybody was going to ask, right? Wokies aren't talking about Iran, so does MAGA support Ukraine now? I sure hope they do. I think that Ukraine deserves our support, and I think that Russia is an aggressive imperialist force, and they shouldn't be in Ukraine, and they can end the war whenever they want. They just need to get the fuck out and stop killing people in Ukraine. Stop killing their own people. Yeah, I totally support Ukraine. I raise money for Ukraine. I know people in Ukraine. Absolutely, I do. I don't think the Russian people have any collective guilt for what the Russian government is doing. I don't hate Russians, but I hate what the Russian government's doing in Ukraine. It's horrible, and I think that they absolutely deserve our support. Yeah, and you can even dislike Zelensky and think that. It's pretty obvious. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what every other person, like, I don't even consider myself MAGA, right? I don't think so. I think it's silly. I think that the moment that you start labeling yourself, you reduce your values down to what somebody else says they are. And I try to avoid doing that. Massive fires and thousands of protesters can be seen on the streets of central Iranian city of Esfahan in footage claimed to be from tonight that was received and published by the Independent Persian. Holy shit! Holy shit, look at that! Oh my God! Yeah, that's insane. Yo, big fire. Yeah, what the fuck is this? Well, this isn't from any bad account, I don't think. And let me see if I can pull up any more of these that are worth looking at too. And then, oh, here's one right here. Footage from the Independent Persian on Telegram. It shows anti-government protests tonight in the capital. Oh, this is the capital of Tehran. And you see why they need the public executions now, right? They need them. Because they are losing so bad, and the only thing that they have left is to turn back to just basically resort to absolute brutality and hope that they can intimidate people out of speaking out against this. A link? Well, I don't need to give you guys all the links. It's right there on the bar here. You can see it. It's from this account. You can look it up yourself. It genuinely looks like a genocide. Well, that's what I'm saying, right? It's insane. These people will genocide their own. They will, if it comes down to it, they will genocide their own people to maintain power. They will. And that's the reason, at that point, I think we 100% stop it. We absolutely stop it. Bring in Delta Force. What if the Iranians kill them themselves? Would the outcome be different? Totally different. It's totally different if the Iranians kill the guy versus if we kill the guy. I don't think we should kill the guy. I think we should let them kill the guy. We could capture the guy and maybe give the guy to them to kill him, sure, but we shouldn't be the one that fires the shot. And it's not because, and I think they deserve to be able to kill him, right? I mean, he's the one that's been oppressing them for like, what, 47 fucking years? So it's like, I mean, this is a long time coming. So yeah, it's like you're... Imagine clearing the entire raid, and then somebody ninja loots the last boss and gets the kill. That's not fair. That's bullshit. No, yeah, you gotta let the people have some fun. Yeah, don't kill steal, exactly. And, yeah, what's this here? That's you. Yeah, I mean, come on. Yeah, we shouldn't kill steal. Yeah, we should make sure that they're able to get the kill. Definitely Gaddafi him. Well, I don't know, but I forgot even what happened to Gaddafi, if you want me to be honest. Didn't they just, like, randomly find him and just kill him? I forgot. It was a long time ago. And even if it would stop the killings now, well, I mean, we could just capture them at that point, right? I mean, like, what do you mean? We could obviously do that. So, I mean, I don't know, but that's what I think. I mean, maybe it's probably more complicated than that, to be fair. But here we go again. Oh, here we go. Look at all that. Holy shit. Gaddafi died in hospital from gun wounds? Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy how much playing WoW prepared you for all this stuff happening IRL. Well, the good thing about World of Warcraft is it gives you a window into what people's desires and what they really think is. Because the way that people act in a video game whenever they're totally unrestrained by social norms is the way that they want to act in real life. So if you can see the way a person acts without them having restraint from social norms, you can get an idea on where their behavior is coming from. That's really the truth. And I know it sounds weird, but I think that it's true. So anyway, the IRGC are among the most evil people in the world. I know I'm not telling you to do anything. Yeah, people are asking Trump now to make an intervention, which is kind of surprising, honestly. It really is. Oh, here we go again. The head of the Democratic Socialists of America International Committee is openly cheering for the brutal theocratic regime of Iran to crush pro-democracy protesters. Long live Ayatollah Khamenei and the Islamic Republic of Iran. Man, we got some terrorism Andes in here, huh? Good morning from Iran. They blew that bitch up. Man. And you can see also, like, I don't know if this is a new video. Some of these videos are fake, by the way. So just keep that in mind. But if this is a new video, I would say this is really substantial. I haven't seen a single image or video of a crowd like this that's happening in the daytime. I think that's what's really shocking about this, is that this is a daytime crowd of people that are gathering in order to fight back against this stuff. And it's a lot more than I would have expected, too. So, was that the car lady? Yeah. And that means that they're not afraid as much anymore. Is this recent? I think it's recent. I mean, I couldn't imagine that they'd be letting people blow up the, you know, the images of the main guy, right? It's not real, probably. It said it's below freezing and no tree has leaves. Oh, yeah, but this could be a different type of tree. I don't know about that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, maybe it is old. That's a good point. Yeah, let's see if I can find the rest of it. The regime change handshake. Oh, we already saw this before. Trump orders U.S. citizens to evacuate Iran. Holy fuck. This is not a protest. We're taking our country back. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's a little bit farther than a protest. Islamists backed in Turkey or in Syria are mass slaughtering Kurds. Entire villages are being wiped off the map. Where's the media? I think it's very obvious that the media is a lot softer on Islamist terrorism. I think it's very obvious. And any sort of, like, any bad action from anything that could be perceived as, like, Islamic or Muslim, I think that they don't talk about it and cover it the same way. And I think it's just a huge problem. It is. It's insane. Yeah, it's totally fucking insane. It's bullshit. I don't think it's bullshit. I think it's true. Yeah, absolutely.
And as you are urging people to protest and go to the streets, the death toll is rising in Iran. This violent crackdown continues just as it has in past attempted revolutions.
Oh, this is pretty bad.
Is it responsible to be sending citizens in Iran to their deaths? Do you bear some responsibility?
As I said, this is a war, and war has casualties. In fact,
yeah, duh.
In order to preserve and protect and minimize the death toll, minimize innocent...
See, this is the mind of a Karen. See, the Karen mind cannot comprehend second-order effects or any sort of trolley problem thinking. Yes, it's obviously better to have 10,000 people die now than 1 million people die over the next year. Duh, of course. Obviously.
Victims yet again be killed by this regime. Action is needed. The regime is going to try and brutalize its citizenry as it has always done. But we are in a fight for liberation. I didn't ask the people to come to the streets to fight against the regime
bunch of
because
dead people.
I wanted so.
Yeah.
They asked me to step in to help them and to be there.
And you can see very clearly this guy has the support of a lot of Iranians. The country has a population of, it said 91 million. And when they shut down the internet in Iran, his views went from going to like 35 million. It went down to 5 million. So he had probably I would say probably the majority of the people in the country that are at least watching and following what he's saying.
Our voice on the outside world to do everything that we can so we make this uprising successful this time.
Yep.
And I think we have some serious leaders that understand what is necessary, that understand the ask of the Iranian people and are responding to that. I think President Trump is responding to the call that the Iranian people have. The Iranian people have heard his words. They are naming streets after him in Iran. There's a difference. They know he's
Why are these Karens so retarded? It's because their emotions work against them. So basically, they're not able to make like pragmatic decisions because they're ruled by their emotions. So instead of being able to say, well, I think we should have some struggle now so we can have a better problem later, they're focused on trying to feel good about their current actions that they are doing at that very moment. Their emotions make the decisions. Yes, they're not thinking. They're not thinkers at all.
Barack Obama or Joe Biden. And that's why they do have a higher expectation, and we'll see what happens. And as you say, I think the president has a decision to make fairly soon. We're doing what we need to do regardless of whether help will come or not. I'm just stating that the best way to ensure that there will be less people killed in Iran is to intervene sooner so this regime finally collapses and puts an end to all the problems that we are facing. We are at war, and we have to make sure that we are victorious. There's no way back for us. We know that as Iranians.
Yeah, of course. Isn't it funny how, how she asked him that question, but she never asked that to a Democrat about ICE protesters? Yeah, of course, right? I mean, that's obviously the reason why. And so women, right? I mean, I don't think it's not really just women. I think that a lot of people think like this. So this is what happens when you rely on AI-generated propaganda. Oh, man, that's really fucking sad, isn't it? And I guess that's how things are now. I'll see if there's anything else that's worth looking at for this, too. But, yeah, it's very obvious that things are pretty much over. The interview is 30 minutes long if you want to watch it. I'll maybe look at clips, but that's it. Turning off the internet deleted 90% of his audience. Seems like he was talking to the right people. Yeah, well, that's why they turned off the internet. They turned off the internet so they could kill the people. That's obviously why. They wanted to turn off the internet, and this is the same reason why they turned off the internet during the war. Because if the people saw how weak the government was, they wouldn't be able to, they would realize, like, okay, well, we can just push back and fight back against these people. So that's the reason why they do that constantly. The number's not overall of 30 million. You can subtract like 10% of it to 27 because it's passive watching on and off. He's listened, statistically speaking, more than half. Yeah, I don't know exactly, but it seems like very clearly a lot of people are watching him. Yeah, I mean, they're really, I mean, that's what it really comes down to, right? And anyway, yeah, so it's gone down. The currency has collapsed. It's just totally done. It's over. It's cooked. I think that, again, it could be tomorrow. It could be the day after. And Iran crossed the red line and violated international law. This is Gaza. What is that? These constant, oh my God. Oh my fucking God. Oh, Trump didn't even say that. He didn't even say that. He just said that they were going to stop him if they started killing the protesters. Jesus, these people. Yeah, I know. All they're trying to do, listen, all they're trying to do is justify and rationalize radical political Islam. That's all it is. You should not be taking it seriously or listening to it as if it's anything other than that. So... Man. Yep. A lot of people are thinking this. Defang the Iranian military, whoever listens to the Islamic regime, and let the Iranian people do the rest. Yeah, because I think that just definitely optically, it's really important to make sure that, you know, the revolution is owned by the Iranians. That way people can't shed, you know, like doubt on it. Because I did watch this. Listen to this.
I hate the regime in Iran.
Right.
I hate the regime.
So why
in Iran.
wouldn't you want
I
it
hate
changing?
The mullahs. There are Armenians living in Iran right now who hate the mullahs. Okay, but regime change should not be spurred by the United States and Israel, which wants to install.
You don't hate the regime in Iran. You don't hate the Islamic Republic. You hate us. You hate every single woman who get beaten up, who go to prison, who get lashes for the crime of just simply dressing like you. You hate us. Because you give misinformation to international community right now. Absolutely darkness in Iran because of the internet shutdown. Iranians have no voices, but you go on Iran, on Iran talking everywhere.
This woman brings up a really insanely good point. Listen to this.
To international media and giving wrong information. You say that the Iranian people do not want regime change being imposed by Trump administration.
Then why are they writing his name on the walls? Like,
or Prime Minister Netanyahu. Who said that?
Great point. Who said that?
Iranian took to the streets since 2009. 6 major uprising. And they made it clear that this is the people of Iran who want to change the regime. And then you saying that this is external regime change. When you say that, it just reminds me of the time when I launched my campaign against compulsory hijab. Ilhan Omar, the hijabi congresswoman,
Deport.
said the exact same thing.
Deport.
Accused me, saying that smear campaign everywhere. She said that Masih Alinejad is the mouthpiece of President Trump and her campaign is being pushed by Trump administration. And guess what? The day after, the Iranian state television used her information to attack me. And
I never thought about this. I never thought about the second order effect of people creating Western propaganda and then the Iranian government weaponizing Western propaganda as a justification to prosecute their own citizens and dissenters in their own country and justify it using the Western propaganda that's made. I never thought about this ever. Like, I'm an American. I'm not used to having to think about this. But, like, it's like whenever you realize it, it's like, of course they're doing this. Obviously they're doing this. So you see how people like Ilhan Omar effectively create a permission structure for the Iranian government to persecute, attack, and try to demonize these different activists in the country by trying to use their words and the implication that the regime change is being spurred on by America and Israel. And then they weaponize that as a justification and the permission structure to go after and attack those people. Man, second-degree treason? Yeah.
months later, Ali Khamenei, the leader of the Islamic Republic, used the same narrative, saying that that American agent must be killed. Yes, with the same narrative. He ordered my killing. And guess what? They hired killers to kill me on U.S. soil 3 times. Now you're doing the same thing.
A team of
by
killers.
Accusing Iranians, being led by Prime Minister Netanyahu and President Trump, by accusing them promoting external regime change.
But like, I want you guys to understand entirely, like, because I think this is like such an important point, is that the people in the West that are promoting propaganda that this regime change is being pushed by America and Israel are creating indirectly a permission structure for the Iranian government to take action against, attack, and retaliate against people who are trying to force a resistance or force a revolution. I just want you guys to understand the connection here, because this connection is crucial.
You are actually giving excuse to Iranian
Is it evidence for treason? Yeah.
To slaughter Iranians. To
it's intentional, not indirect.
And unarmed protesters. This is what you're doing. And stop doing that. If you decided to keep silent, that's fine. But when people of Iran are being banned from internet, they don't have a voice, don't go on media and
speak
talk on behalf of them. Let us talk. Let us talk. Because of your narrative, right now, thousands of people have been killed in the streets.
And the other issue, too, with that narrative is that the Iranian government will weaponize their words and then use it as propaganda for their own citizens and make their own citizens think that the revolution isn't legitimate because Americans are making up fan fiction about how the revolution is being pushed by America.
The Islamic Republic officials took on state television saying the exact same thing that you said, that this is external regime change being led by Prime Minister Netanyahu and President Trump. It's not.
Yep.
We, the people of Iran, being trapped by a barbaric regime, by a terrorist regime, and they are slaughtering people. They are killing people.
It's national gaslighting?
More than 2,000
Yes.
people have been killed. We are the East Germany. Be brave
Berlin Wall.
and stand with the people of Iran. If you cannot, then don't help the Iranian regime to kill us with the same accusations. Is that too much to ask?
That's crazy. That is insane. I never even thought about this. I never even considered it, but I am so glad that I watched this because really, I mean, you can see the logic in this. Everything about this totally fits together. Everything about this makes perfect sense. And yeah, I totally agree with it. This is the woman doing it. And she,
I hate...
Just let me remove pauses. I'll link you guys the tweet here, right? And that way you guys can like it and do all of that if you want. But can we let this woman vote? Yeah, exactly, right? And so there it is. Make sure to give her some support because, you know, again, there's a lot of people that are making this shit up. Leftists are quickly becoming some of the most hated people worldwide. Yeah, of course. I'm not Iranian, but I'm also proud of the Iranian people for standing up for freedom on the brink of overthrowing an evil regime in such country. That's because leftists only stand for one thing: anti-Western values. So whatever is anti-Western, they will stand for that. Whether it's racial, religious, ethnic, or economic, they will always stand for whatever is the less Western thing. That's what happens every single fucking time. Leftists won't be able to comprehend the damage they do if they don't take accountability. They never will. They will never take accountability. They'll never see your point of view. They're never going to understand things. That's not going to happen. Leftist hatred for Jews and inexplicably for their own countries is so overwhelming that they'd rather see millions brutalized and suffering and what seems to be a weird act of revenge against the West. There it fucking is. You are absolutely right. And so, yep, there you go. It's time to let real Iranian voices speak on behalf of Iran. Well, and here's another big component for this too. And I'm trying to see if I can find this and show you guys. The prince of Iran, whenever they shut down the internet in Iran, a massive amount of people stopped watching his videos. Basically, all of his traffic has been reduced by like 80 to 90%. That's the point that I'm making. This guy got massively fucking nerfed. And the reason why is simple. They did that in order to make sure that his voice didn't get out there. They don't want people talking about what he said. They don't want people agreeing with him, realizing it. And so they just cut down the entire thing. How can you be silent? Oh, here's another one.
I used to be a Democrat. I stood by you guys because you promised us liberty, justice, diversity. Yep. This is not diversity. You are, your silence is complicit. Democrats, wake the damn up. This is not okay. Iranian people right now, they're in prison. They're in prison. They're in complete digital blackout. How can you be silent?
It's simple. It's an identity movement. That's the reason why. And it's a lot of the Free Palestine movement, I think, has been hijacked by people that are trying to push for political Islam. And so all of those people aren't going to support Iran because Iran is losing political Islam. And that's the big reason why I think it's changed. I've been seeing a lot of people kind of waking up and realizing this, which is honestly, it's about fucking time. That's my opinion. It's been such a long time since this hasn't happened. And what is this here? Oh, here. No, this is something else. I'll get to that later on. I don't want to focus on it yet. But you can see a lot of people saying the same thing over and over. For this video was posted last night with the caption, Iran's problems belong only to Iranians, not to pigs. It's gone highly viral, largely because so many people assumed that she was Iranian. For clarity, she is Pakistani.
I guess it's true that some people really gotta fight to survive. And some people are white guys in 1985.
Man. How about that? Based in... Look at that right there. That's the Pakistan one. It is. That's the Pakistan one right there. As a Muslim, they're not Islamic. They use the name of Islam for their sins while doing 180 degrees against the Quran. Listen, man, like, we have the same problems in Christianity. I get it. I'm not trying to blame Islam for this, but I mean, it's the same as, like, I mean, there are radical Christian people, there's radical Islamic people. I get what you're saying. I'm not trying to blame all of Islam on this. Obviously not. There's like 1 point however fucking many billion Muslims. So yeah, no true Scotsman. I don't know. I think that there's a huge, like, to compare the government inside of Iran to like a government inside of Dubai, for example, that are both Islamic, I think you're being intentionally dishonest. Now, neither one of those countries do I want to have their government be my government. I don't. But like, to say that there's not a gradation there is just dishonest. It's completely dishonest. Iran is a theocracy, to be fair. Yeah, but there's a spectrum of that. And I'm looking to see if I can find another post on this too, because there's just been so many of these that are going on that, oh, here we go. Yeah, it's this one here. I left the left. Here we go.
So for a long time, I thought the left was my home. They talked about justice and human. So for a long time, I thought the left was my home. They talked about justice and human rights, things I genuinely believe in. And as someone who's gay, Iranian, Jewish, the
pick a struggle.
Son of immigrants, I thought this was where those values actually lived. That all fell apart for me in 2022 after the murder of Mahsa Amini, when Iranians were being killed for fighting for basic freedom. And all of those voices that never seemed to shut up about justice, all of a sudden just seemed to disappear.
Listen to that again. Sorry, I spoke over it. I want to repeat this.
Amini, when Iranians were being killed for fighting for basic freedom. And all of those voices that never seemed to shut up about justice, all of a sudden just seemed to disappear. Then October 7th happened, and anti-Semitism exploded under the guise of anti-Zionism. Now watching what's
Abso-fucking-lutely. And sometimes I even feel uncomfortable making Jew jokes because I'm worried that, like, I don't hate Jews. Sorry, guys. I know. I'm woke, right? But I don't hate Jews. Well, actually, if I was woke, I'd hate them too. But anyway, maybe I'm just normal, right? I don't really hate Jews. But like, sometimes I feel like I make jokes about it, and there's so many detrimental and negative jokes about Jews now that it's almost like the problem that I have about it is the same as the problem with the jokes about white people, where it's okay to make negative and like degrading jokes about white people, but like, how much of that is really fair when, like, I have no problem making Jew jokes, but why can I only make Jew jokes? Does that make sense? Low-hanging fruit? Yeah, I guess so. It's imbalanced? Yeah, it's imbalanced.
Happening in Iran today, watching people risk their lives on the streets. I keep asking myself the same question I asked in 2022 and in 2023, which is, where the fuck is everybody?
Yeah, great question.
Where are they? Because the people showing up for Iranians right now are the ones the left warned us about. The people who we're told are anti-justice are the ones speaking up for justice in Iran.
That's right. It's what I said before. They don't hate the fascists. They want to be the fascists.
And the ones who are supposedly the arbiters of justice are completely silent.
That's
right. You know who's going hard for Iran right now? Israelis and Jews. And for most of the left, the optics of their trendy hatred of Israel matters more than solidarity with the people of Iran who are risking their lives in the bravest ways imaginable. Walking away from...
Absolutely fucking cooked. Completely agree. Let's replay that.
Completely silent. You know who's going hard for Iran right now? Israelis and Jews. And for most of the left, the optics of their trendy hatred of Israel matters more than solidarity with the people of Iran who are risking their lives in the bravest ways imaginable.
Unfathomably fucking based.
Walking...
Like, the thing is that... Yeah, and it's like, it's a Jew. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, they totally expose the left's message. They have. I can't imagine... Like, I can't imagine being a left-wing person right now and not thinking that I'm an idiot. I mean, do I have to go down the list again? You're supporting dictators that are killing their own people, that have caused one of the biggest, most massive refugee crises in modern history. You're defending Venezuelan gangs. You're defending MS-13 gangs. You're defending literal terrorist organizations who rape and kill their own people, not to mention foreigners that they disagree with. You're supporting, let's see, illegal aliens. You're supporting burning down random people's cars. It's basically... It's almost like Whatever they pick, the good option is the other one. Somalian fraud from people that are, and this is the craziest thing about the Somalian thing, is that you listen to them talk about their own country, and this is like, I'm Adolf Hitler. Like, holy shit. Well, we don't want any of these people. They're not pure. We don't want Kenyans in our country. We got to get rid of them. And then they come to America and they're like, okay, well, you've got to accept and understand everybody. And you know, like we love diversity here. And, we don't want to have this be like the Nazi Germany or something. They're literally cosplaying revolutionaries on the streets of Minnesota while ignoring the mass murder of actual revolutionaries in Iran. Despicable. Exactly. Yeah, imagine thinking that you're trying to fight a revolution in America whenever you're standing in front of police cars screeching like a banshee. Meanwhile, you have people in Iran that are out there trying to fight for their fucking freedom, and you're ignoring it entirely so you can keep insulating Somalian fraudsters from being deported. It's embarrassing. It's really embarrassing. You think about it. Oh my God. It's because of Trump. They can't handle him doing anything remotely good. So anything he says or does, they're immediately against. They are. The left doesn't support that. You're globalizing political preference. Even if I voted for Trump, that doesn't mean I support all of his policies. I think that they overwhelmingly do. And I think that there is a big difference between not supporting something and then not talking about it. They don't even talk about it. Like, so like, I don't care really if they support it or not. If you're not going out there and you're not promoting this stuff and, like these are people that are outspoken about everything. They're crying about everything, but then you're not crying about this. I wonder why. Chat, is Zach anti-Jew or does he love Jews? It depends on the Jew.
Walking away from the left didn't mean walking away from justice. I still believe in LGBT rights, in women's rights, in equality, in freedom. And that's exactly why I won't stop fighting for Iran. Yep. And you know what? The people of Iran don't even need the American left's permission to demand freedom. They're demanding it anyway, because a real fight for justice doesn't stop to ask who you voted for or if you're a Zionist. They simply don't have that privilege.
Man. Absolutely fucking cooked. I am so happy to see this. I think that people are finally starting to realize that a lot of this like posturing that these people have is just purely like totally self-serving bullshit. And they're woke as fuck. Yeah, exactly. And these people are coming at it from the most profound level of privilege, opportunity, advantage that anybody could possibly have. But they're going out there acting like it's a huge problem and all these little things are happening. And yeah, bro didn't cook. He made a whole banquet. Yeah, I'm very glad to see this. I left the left. I didn't change my values. The left abandoned them. Yeah, they never had them in the first place, right? They didn't. Free Palestine people when anyone else is trying to be free. I am Adolf Hitler. The real number, and you have this girl, look at this here. The UK-based Iran National reports that the conservative estimates are nearly 2,000 protesters that are killed in Iran over the last 48 hours. And then she goes and says the real number is 6 million. Man. How about that? Yep, I can't stand her. I know. And this is just another person that's advocating for another level of political Islam, an oppressive regime, something like that, where Charlie Kirk, yeah, I get, well, this is what he said about it.
And which then led to the Iranian Revolution, where radical Islam took over Iran. Look at some of these pictures of what Iran used to be. It was wealthy, it was proud, it was strong.
Yeah, we'll see that.
Persians are wonderful people. Some of my closest friends are Persians. And I love the Persian people. And we should have a heart for the Persian people to try and have a better future. Regime change is very difficult to talk about. I actually don't like talking about regime change. It's very complicated. But understand that there can be brighter days ahead for the Iranian people. And just look at some of these pictures of how beautiful Iran used to be, how beautiful Tehran used to be.
Look at that.
And
it's nice. Really nice.
It's very easy to kind of sit in your Western armchair and be like, oh, Israel's terrible. Well, you were able to enjoy free speech rights and a lot of rights here in the West that Iran used to have. And if you are serious about actually protecting human rights, you should want to make Iran Western again.
Man. And he was right. Yep, he was absolutely right about that. And real question, is this take why he was killed? Well, I don't know about that. And you should look up what Zimbabwe used to look like. I have no idea. Now we know why the left doesn't support Iran, because Kirk tried to defend it. I don't know if it's really that simple. But yeah, and then we have, oh, here we go. look who we have. We have another BPD goth girl on the internet. Here we go. Let's listen to this. And the biggest dictatorship on Earth is the one run by U.S. Capitol, and it presents the primary obstacle to human freedom and ecological survival. This is the context in which everything else must be evaluated. And then this is a response to somebody saying, I didn't say anything about U.S. intervention being a pathway to liberation. I said a dictator is a dictator is a dictator. Just my 2 cents as someone whose country lived under dictatorship for 30 years. But by all means, abstract that reality. So we have, once again, another privileged white woman who's living in a Western country who's talking down to people that are actually oppressed because for some reason she's convinced herself that she's a freedom fighter. There it is. 6 red triangles. Well, it should be 6 red flags. But I guess that probably wouldn't be enough. So yeah, ironic how it's a white woman telling that to a black woman. Well, it's not even about skin color. It's also about nationality. Like, this woman probably lives in a Western country with all of these privileges and advantages, and she's talking about how bad the country is, and she's trying to delegitimize or shift the conversation away from the countries that are in the other places in the world that are awful. That's the issue. White women seem to always know what's right for other people. It's taken me a year. It's taken me an entire year of talking about how all of our problems in the entire world are created by 2 groups of people, Karens and incels. I've been trying to push this for years now. And it's really been in the last year I've been pushing it more and more and more. These obnoxious, annoying Karens ruin everything. They ruin everything, they're annoying, and the worst part about it is that people listen to them and give them any credibility. The only thing you need to do when one of these people starts talking is say, "Shut the fuck up, bitch." Never listen to them, never take what they're saying seriously. There's no principle to it. It is completely self-serving, emotion-driven bullshit, like one-dimensional thinking that is just... Nobody should be thinking like this. Just, shut up, bitch. That's it. You're done. There's nothing else beyond that. Would incels have an impact, though? Yeah, sometimes they do. Absolutely. The husbands who have to obey them? Well, the thing is that, again... I think that the more that these people feel like they're not being socially rewarded for this behavior, then you're going to see even more people that are pushing back against it and not liking it. That's what's going to happen. Quiet piggy. Yep, exactly. Hogs got to go. Yep, 100%. And I'm so glad to see this. I'm getting so embarrassed to have ever been part of the left. And this is also, keep in mind, this is another one right here. These are white liberals that are trying to patronize actual Iranians, Persians, for not supporting Hamas. Pro-white, I saw this yesterday. White pro-Hamas liberals harass Iranians at anti-Islamic regime rally in Washington state. Oh my God. That's where we're at. That's it. Yep, and we're the good guys somehow. How did this happen? This is why you never let them emotionally guilt trip you. You never let you do not even operate inside of their frame of reference. Don't even try to argue with them and explain that they're wrong. There's no reason to. They're not logical, they're not rational, they're not trying to have a conversation. They're just trying to gaslight you into doing what they say. That's it. Never engage. Total waste of time. How does one fight the very person they're so emotional to protect? I don't know. Why do U.S. leftists praise communism, never listen to countries that spent half a century run away from Soviet communism and hate it as if they lived through it? The reason why leftists like communism is because it sounds good. Once you understand that the reason why they advocate for this stuff is because they're stupid, then everything else makes perfect sense.